Hello, GRE fans. A while ago, I posted a video called Test Your GRE Vocabulary Diagnostic, and it included 30 questions of 30 popular GRE words that you might see on the real test. And it was just kind of an assessment for people to get a feeling or to get an idea of how good their vocabulary is. And also, hopefully, if some of the words were new for you, you absorbed some of them so that you can more readily understand what's going on the GRE test. So that was one of my most popular videos, and I thought that I would continue this as a series. So this is actually going to be part 2. The diagnostic is part 1. So if you haven't done the diagnostic yet, you should probably stop this video and go ahead and do that. So do this first. And the format is going to be very similar to the diagnostic. So let's go down and take a look at the format. Okay, so let's take a quick review of the rules of the quiz. So there are 30 questions total, and each page is going to have 4 questions, and you will have 1 minute to complete all 4 questions, so about 15 seconds per question. Answers should be written on a separate sheet of paper, and obviously you don't want to use dictionaries or phones or anything of that nature, because if you do, you will have a skewed result. You don't want to lie to yourself with GRE study. Answers will be given at the end of the test, and of course, good luck. With that in mind, let us begin. Remember, you will have 1 minute for each page. All right, guys. Hopefully that wasn't too bad, too painful. So let's talk about the answers. He is a craven individual. So we have smart, sophisticated, not honest, and not brave. The best choice here is going to be cowardly. So a craven person is someone who is not brave, someone who does not want to take risks. Pretty negative connotation. Number 2, the tumor is benign. Now, tumor is obviously a bad thing here. You know, that's what can cause cancer. That's a sign that someone has cancer. But the word benign is actually not that bad of a word. It means harmless. It means to have no effect. So if a tumor is benign, that is certainly much better than a tumor being malignant or cancerous. A lot of these other words fit with tumor, so it's hard to guess from just the context. You have to know the meaning of benign. Fatal means it kills you. Removable is also a positive, but the best answer here is harmless. Most of his productions are banal. A banal production is boring, something that does not bring any new ideas to the table, something that has been done before. So the best answer is going to be unoriginal. Provocative, this is a common GRE word, which basically makes you think. Yeah, it makes you, it provokes you. That's the root word. The verb provokes you to think of something new. It's kind of the opposite of unoriginal. Not entirely the opposite, but kind of. Boisterous means a lot of energy, maybe a lot of laughing. Compelling just means interesting. Number 4, she has an ingenuous character. So if you look at this, it looks pretty negative and you might think dishonest, but really what it means is naive. It almost means like childlike. You know, not a lot of experience. Assertive means kind of like aggressive with one's opinions. Okay, so those are the first 4 answers: cowardly, harmless, unoriginal, and naive. All right, here we have the next 4 questions. Number 5 says, his diatribe made everyone uncomfortable. A diatribe, I often like to think about like a dictator. You know, a dictator who is speaking in front of, thousands of people and screaming on the microphone. The correct answer is bitter speech. She, unfortunately, demurred. So when somebody demurs, they hesitate or even say no. I always like to imagine I'm asking a beautiful girl on a date. And I say, hey, do you want to go see a movie with me? And then she's like, and I'm like, oh, man. And then I'm sad. Right, so that's what demurred means here. So the best answer is going to be objected. Complained is not bad. I put this in here as a trick. It's not a bad answer, but it doesn't as closely capture the meaning as objective here. Improvised means to act without a plan, and consented is the opposite. It, of course, means agreed. He is amenable to the suggestion. So the question is, does he think it's kind of weird? Is he open to changing his mind? Does he hate it or does he love it? Well, the best answer here is he's open to it. Whenever somebody is amenable to something, they can be persuaded or they can be convinced. The process is convoluted. You'll notice I typically like to do this as a trick. I'll put CO in here and then CO in here. Just because something's convoluted and something's controversial, just because they have the same 3 letters, doesn't mean they have the same meaning. The best answer here is involved, which means complicated. These are all synonyms of the words complicated and complex. Okay, moving on. They were incredulous after hearing the story. So the question is, were they mesmerized? Did they love it? Were they envious? Were they jealous? Were they disinterested, which does not mean uninterested, by the way. It means unbiased. Or did they not believe it? The best choice here is doubtful. They couldn't believe it. This is the most coveted position. So does the position make a lot of money? Maybe. Is the position scary? Maybe. Is the position hated? Maybe. Nope. Best answer is going to be it is the most desired position. I always think of the 10 commandments from religion. Thou shall not covet thy's wife. I think that's how you spell it. He had produced a deft composition. Correct answer here is skilled. It's a very skilled composition. Now, the composition itself is not skilled. The composition, if it's deft, it shows that the author is skilled. But if you look at these 4 choices, the best one is still going to be skilled. Her pain was ameliorated. How can you transfer pain? Is that even possible? So you have 3 possibilities here. It can be 0%, it can be go down, or it can be go up, the pain. The trick answer here is eliminated. Whenever you ameliorate something, you make it better or you reduce it, but you don't completely eliminate it. So the best answer here is going to be reduced. All right, next 4. It is an audacious proposal. So is it stupid? Is it brave? Is it copied? Or is it kind of smart and effective? Correct answer here, it is courageous. Now, courageous often has a positive connotation, but keep in mind, if you're talking about an audacious proposal, there's a good chance that it will fail. He was known to aggrandize himself. Aggrandize. I'm not sure about the pronunciation of this one. People who like to do this, what they like to do is they want to make themselves seem bigger or more important or kind of larger in people's eyes. So the best choice here is he wants to inflate his reputation. Inflate his reputation. The work is largely derivative in nature. This comes from the root word derive, which means to come from something else. And if you come from something else, you are, of course, unoriginal. So now my job is just to choose a synonym of unoriginal. The best choice is trite. It was brazen behavior. So brazen can have kind of 2 meanings. One meaning can kind of be somewhat positive and mean bold. But there is another meaning where your behavior is essentially just you act without shame. You do something bad, but you don't even care. So the best choice here is going to be shameless. His behavior was shameless. All right, let's keep this train going. Number 17, his caustic personality was evident in his writing. So, this is either going to be a positive or a negative, right? So the question is, does this guy have a good personality or does this guy have a bad personality? Reserved means quiet or not acting quickly. Derisive means to be very kind of negative. Garrulous means very talkative, sociable. And phlegmatic means calm. Best answer here is derisive. It's people who are caustic are overly negative and bitter in their personality, and that's a synonym of derisive. Comes from the verb to deride. So if I deride you, I'm being critical of you. She exhibited decorum at all times. This woman here is very, very polite, and she likes to follow social rules. So propriety is the best choice. The entire process had been adulterated by outside forces. So adulterated is usually used in the context of liquid. So if I adulterate a liquid, I make it less pure. Maybe I put some chemicals in it or something like that. And one synonym is the verb corrupt. So corrupt can deal with governments, but it can also deal with kind of substances. If you corrupt a substance or corrupt a process, you are essentially making it less pure and you're kind of damaging the integrity of it. So the best choice here is going to be corrupted. The article was full of calumnies. Again, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Calumnies, something like that. Best answer here, well, first of all, what is a calumny? That is when someone essentially just tells a lie about you, a lie that is designed to damage your reputation. So errors is not bad, but there is a better answer here. The better answer is slanders. In fact, these 2 words are basically direct synonyms of one another. Okay, moving on. Okay, we're getting near the end here. So 21 says, the focus of your paper is anachronistic. I'm not a big fan of prefixes and suffixes because I don't think they're that useful, but here it is useful. If you look at the chron. That deals with time. So when something is anachronistic, it's of the wrong time. It's out of time, out of place. So the best answer here is going to be of the wrong era. She was an advocate of the cause. So first of all, advocate is support. So I'm going to eliminate anything negative. Critic is negative. Opponent is negative. Observer is neutral, which also doesn't mean support. So just by eliminating, I know it's going to be staunch champion. He was castigated for his actions. So if the actions were good, positive actions, then castigated would mean praised. If the actions were bad, it would mean, criticized. This sentence doesn't tell you, so the only way to solve it is to know the meaning of the word castigated. It basically means kind of like criticized. So the best choice here is reprimanded. My feelings on the matter are ambivalent. Settled means I know exactly how I feel. Mixed means I'm kind of uncertain, having trouble. One-sided means I know exactly how I feel, and irrelevant means they're not important. Well, ambivalent means mixed. And in fact, this is one of the most popular GRE words, so you definitely need to know this. I would say this is like top 10. Definitely top 100. 25. The avaricious corporation angered many. So was this corporation big, or was it kind of hostile, or was it careless, or did it just want money? Well, it just wanted money. He construed it differently than I did. My favorite example is the Mona Lisa. So when you look at the Mona Lisa, do you think she's smiling or not smiling? Some people say she's smiling. Some people say she isn't. So everyone kind of interprets it or construes it differently. Best answer is A. The contrite man approached slowly. Now, you'll notice this approached slowly is not important in the sentence. I only included this to confuse you. It has no effect on the actual word here. Contrite means remorseful. Someone did something bad. They feel bad about it. They feel sad about it, and they feel contrite. The task was completed with alacrity. So was it done badly? Was it done kind of excitedly? Were they patient, or did they do it with hesitation? Best answer is eagerly. Finally, we have our two remaining. The land had been desiccated. Desiccate is a very specific word, and it essentially means to remove the water or remove the moisture. Best answer is dried out. And then finally, be careful, she's candid. Again, this be careful has no effect on the sentence. Correct answer is she is direct. She is honest. So let's do a quick analysis. If you guys are serious about GRE verbal, your score definitely needs to be 25 plus. If it's not 25 plus right now, not a big deal, but definitely you need to be working on the vocab. If you're getting in the range of 15 to 24, you definitely have some work to do. If you're getting anywhere from 1 to 14, you might even consider delaying your GRE test, because the vocabulary is a huge component of GRE verbal success, and it is something you do need to take pretty seriously, especially if you're an international student. Keep in mind, people who live in Western English-speaking countries, they know a lot of these words just through living their lives, through watching TV, reading books, things of that nature. People in international countries, non-English-speaking countries, you guys will have to, unfortunately, do more of a kind of rote memorization platform or process to really get a lot of these words into your brain. Finally, the last thing I'll say is, if you got a 28 or a 29 or a 30, don't feel too good, because vocabulary is not the only thing you need for GRE success. You also need other components like logic and time management and many other things that I talk about in other videos. But vocabulary is definitely step one, And if you're doing well on it, great job. I will try to post one of these every week, and I'll also keep a running tally of the words we've already focused on. So right now, we've already done 60 words, 30 words from the diagnostic and 30 words from the Part 2 Test Your GRE vocabulary. Until next time, everyone have a good day, and keep in mind you can always contact me if you have any questions. Thanks.